Hello everyone, Alex the RC Freak here, coming at you with another video on how to fit the Proline mx43 tires on the Losi DBXL gasoline, MTXL gasoline, or DBXL-E electric, which that's mainly what I'm going to be talking about today. So what you got here, this is the 24mm hex. This right here, this is the hex nut. Right here, that is also 24mm. Just this nut alone is 24mm nut. So you will need a socket for that. This is the 24mm hex right here. This is what the wheel slides onto. And then this is the shaft threaded part. So, and then there's a pin that goes right through here. So, and then the grub screw goes in the center of the actual axle that goes in here. There's a grub screw, 3mm grub screw. It goes in here, and you tighten it, and it tightens it down, that pin down. So, anyway, this is what you need to do. This is a video of what you need to do to put the X-Max Proline mx43 wheels and tires onto a 5th scale vehicle. This is what you need to do. Now, if you have a Proline mx43 tires for your X-Max already, and you do not want to buy another set, you have one full set to do one truck, but yet you want to use it on other vehicles. If you have an X-Max and you want to use it on an actual 5th scale vehicle with an actual 5th scale hub, hex hub, you will need, if you have an X-Max, if you want to bring them back on the X-Max after doing this mod, you will need the Mad Max wheel nut adapters. So let me just state that again. You will need the Mad Max wheel adapters, so for it to work. And you can use 5th scales on your X-Max, you can use true 5th scales on the true 5th scales, or you can use the MX43s on the 5th scales, so it gives you a little bit more tire options. Me personally, I do not like the MX43 tire compound. It's a little too rock hard stiff for my opinion, even for 5th scale vehicles, but I am very tired of breaking the factory wheels and cracking them to smithereens every time I drive my Losi DBXL-E. So, I've went through 4 sets already, so I'm getting sick of it. But this is a reel I've fixed. But if you notice, there's a crack here, and it goes up here. It's cracked here, it's cracked here, it's cracked right here, it's cracked down here. It's cracked all over the place. I glued the back of it. Right here, this is glue. This is special Lord Fuser is what the brand is actually called. I'm an auto body technician, so I can get that glue. But it's a really awesome glue because it melts the plastic just a little bit and fuses it together. So, but it actually held up really well. What I liked about these wheels, if you notice, it has an aluminum cast metal aluminum piece on the other side of the hub, so it cannot strip out. I do like that design. It's just these wheels are like plastic glass. They break very easily. You nick a curve. This is the very first one that ever broke on me. I barely went off a jump, and I barely landed. I just kind of went off like a little side movement, barely hit like that, and just broke the wheel like a twig. So one thing about Losi's plastic, it does not like cold weather. So just to state that for you, it does not like cold weather at all. But anyway, let me set that aside. So this is the hub, this is the nut. Now this is what you need to do to get it to work. Alright? So, basically, here's an MX43 wheel I have already modified to fit on the Losi DBXL-E or the gasoline versions of 5th scale. So, basically, if you have these wheels already on your X-Max, there's going to be lug nuts, plastic lug nuts for look. So that way, aesthetically, it looks more realistic. Gives that added detail look. So, basically, these wheel nuts, you'll have to grind them down with a cone-shaped Dremel bit on a low setting. So, I strongly recommend you have a Dremel tool that is a variable speed Dremel tool. And you don't want to have it maxed out. Take your time. It took me a couple hours to do this. Now this inside diameter right here, you'll need a 19mm or 3/4 millimeter drill bits, or you could do it this way. Use a step down drill bit. Now this is what I suggest. This is 3/4 right here, or 19 millimeter. They're both the same size, but it steps down. That's what I like about it. So what I did is I used my drill. I got a drill right here, mx43, or not mx43 drill, but a Milwaukee M12 drill. Apologize for that. And basically what I did is I stuck the drill bit in here. I'll show you kind of how I did. I already did these, so I ain't going to drill them again, but I'll show you loosely. So basically what I did is, see how far this goes in? This can go all the way in, or it can go out like that. So basically what I did is I went about that much of a gap. I tightened it down. I'm just loosely going to tighten it down. And I drilled through the rim. I took the rim, I drilled through it. Keep this as straight as you can. I drilled all the way through it. And then at the backside, when the drill went all the way through the backside, I would stop. Like I would stop and then loosen the chuck here, so this way the drill bit will fall out. Because I didn't pull the drill bit back out. I loosened the chuck so that way the drill bit was in the backside of this. I could just pop it out like that without damaging your hex. You don't want to damage the hex. This does have a plastic hex on it. For some super high-powered fifth scale systems, this may strip out. But then again, it may not. So I can't guarantee that, depending on your current setup. So this is pretty strong plastic. RPM makes really good plastic on their wheels. I do like their plastic for their wheels. Losi I hate, obviously. So basically, what I did with these, I got 160 stainless steel screws. These are 2.5 millimeter socket head style screws, 20 millimeters long, 3 millimeter in diameter, metric thread pitch. And I got 160 of those screws, stainless steel, so it gives it that added wow look, that added detail effect. And these are for originally my X-Max, but I didn't like them on there. So I'm going to put them on my Losi DBXL-E, so that way I can have some use for them. But anyway, I dyed these dark navy blue, these little beadlock rings, so that way it gives it a really nice added detail, I think. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you guys what you'll need to do to fit these, so that way, the reason why you have to sand down these lug nuts, now you can only sand down these lug nuts halfway if you want to, or you can do it all the way. Me, I did it all the way because I don't want to have any issues with my lug nut when I stick it on. So you can stick this on just like that. It fits in there nice and snug. That's how you want it. There's no wiggle around room. There's no wiggle around room. I'm moving the tire. So you can stick your nut on. Now note, this nut has little tiny notches in the back. This is to help grip on the wheel. So make sure you note the direction of those notches. So basically, you take your nut, you stick it on here. It's like so. You thread it on. Now, this is what I want to show you. Now see, you don't need to do the whole lug nut. You don't need all these lug nuts completely shaved down. You don't. I did it because I wanted all the room in the world for my socket. Now, let me state this. Let me find my socket real quick, so I apologize for this. I'll show you something. I should have been more prepared here. Okay, so what I got here is the socket. This is a 24 millimeter short socket. It is metric. Make sure you use the 24 millimeter. It's better than use a 6-point socket, not a 12-point. It's 6-point. This is why I grinded down the nuts. Now, keep in mind, you only need to grind them down halfway with a cone style grinder bit for the Dremel tool on a variable speed Dremel tool. But yeah, you only need to grind them down halfway for this nut to fit on there. You don't need to grind them down all the way. I chose to grind them down all the way, but that way this socket won't rub on anything, like on the lug nuts. It won't be like a tight kind of jiggle it off and get it off like that. So, and keep in mind, this is a chrome socket. This is a non-impact socket. So some people may have an impact socket lying around if they're a mechanic, perhaps, or if they do a lot of work on real vehicles. They may have an impact socket lying around that'll work, which is fine. You could do that too, but just keep in mind, the impact sockets are a little thicker sideways here, and they're black usually. And, you know, you can tighten them or loosen them. So, basically, that's what I use. This is my wrench I use. It's a little hand wrench. I need actually a longer handle on mine, like a little bit longer. So that way I can really get these off. Because I like my wheel nuts nice and tight. I don't like them snug. I don't like that, Like, for example, the X-Max comes with a plastic T-wrench, a really junky one. Why would you use that to tighten down your wheels? You can't get enough torque on it. And some people may say, oh yeah, I've never had a problem and I've tightened them down. That's great. But I like mine to be really tightened. Not tightened where you're breaking pins. Not so tight where you're breaking. It won't happen on this rig because this rig has a 5mm pin holding it through. But you won't break this pin. But if you get real tight on, for example, an E-Revo brushless edition 10 scale that has 17mm adapters on it, if you get this too tight, sometimes you can break that pin. So, just saying, keep that in mind. But I like them tight. I just like metal versus plastic. That's all I'm saying. So, anyway, these tires are a little bit wider than the stock. This is the stock, so they are. That's right on the edge on the stock, that like where it would be. So they're about an inch wider. So they're probably being 4-wheel drive and all. Give it more of an aggressive look, and it will look killer. And then with this blue beadlock ring, the yellow and black body like I have has blue pinstripes in it. So this would look pretty good. Or if you have the blue and gray one, this would even look better. So, like I say, you can use it both ways. Just as like a little accent piece. I think it'll look pretty snazzy. But yeah, I just basically wanted to show you guys kind of what is needing to be done to fit these onto your Losi DBXL-E. Really not that bad. It's actually pretty straightforward. Like I say, you only really technically only need to shave down half this wheel lug nut here. You don't need to shave down the whole thing. I chose to shave down the whole thing. So, but it's not a big deal either way you want to do it. I like it having a little bit more room around my sockets, just because I don't like to have the thing where you have to jiggle it off, and who knows, you know, and you never know. So anyway, even if you shaved it down halfway, if you have a chrome socket, you wouldn't have a problem. I don't even think you'd have a problem with an impact socket. It may be a bit tight with an impact actual socket, but I don't think it'd be a major issue. So anyway, yeah, thank you for watching my videos. I just wanted to say thank you so much for anyone who's taken a few moments of the time to click on my videos. Leave nice comments. I sincerely appreciate respectful comments. Like I say, please try to, you know, if you have in the comments, just please try to keep it respectful. I don't feel there's any need for disrespect. Like I said, I love you guys to death. I appreciate anyone who watches my videos. I'm just trying to share some RC love out there to people, because, you know, this hobby is expensive for the quality ones, not like the junk ass ECX and Hellion Red Cat garbage, but for the quality RC vehicles, they are expensive. They really are. It's $1,000 for the DBXL-E, and it needs a lot of work out of the box, in my opinion. I would never buy one again, but I'm just saying, it needs some work out of the box, but once you get it all dialed in, I think it could be a great rig. So, like I say, thank you so much for taking a few moments of your time to watch my videos, leaving nice feedback, nice comment. I sincerely appreciate it. Please let me help you. If you have a question, please let me help you. I'm more than happy to help you. That's not a problem at all to me. So please don't feel that, you know, if you have like 10 questions to ask them. Seriously, I ain't afraid to talk about RC or maybe help you out with a project. So anyway, I'll walk you through it, you know, if you'd like me to. So, like I say, this is how to do it. There's really not a whole lot. All you need is a step bit. You need a Dremel tool. That's pretty much it. You need a drill. Make sure you have a drill. Make sure it's fully charged battery. It is very important. Make sure you actually have it on the drill setting. That's just the drill I use. But a step down bit really works nice. And you know what's really nice is if you can get a step down bit where this last part right here is 19mm or 3/4 inches. This last round part. It makes it a little bit more easier, I think. So, anyway, thank you for watching the video. And if you notice, the back of this, the back of this on the before you drill them has a little step down. You got this little plastic piece right here, and then the plastic will step down just a teensy bit, showing you where the center of it is. If you want to drill those out for a true 5th scale vehicle, just so you know. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching my videos. It is extremely greatly appreciated. Thank you for anyone who likes, comments, subscribes. It is seriously appreciated. Thank you very much. It just helps me. I don't get anything out of it. All I get is the knowledge that you guys are liking the videos I'm putting out for you. So, as always, Alex RC Freak out. Peace.